Because I know I said I wasn't going to post a video today because I didn't think I would have time. Because, okay, it's windy today. So, I didn't think I would have time today between dance and also family celebrating my mom's birthday. But the truth is, I should be in dance right now. But the thing is that, we had some stuff to, at first up, I'm just a little bit, today, not really tired. I'm just a little bit, I just want to be a little bit lazy and just watch squad videos and stuff. Also, the entire day, I, haven't really watched much, squad videos or anything because of the fact that, family was over and different things. But then, and on top of, so there was that situation, and I was gonna, dance, but then, and we had, a little, situation where I am the type where I get annoyed with being late. I get annoyed with being late for dance class because, even though, it's 5 minutes late, and, the last time, or, one time, I was, 5 minutes late, due to that, my computer was just being slow and, internet problems. And I logged on and we had, I don't really know what happened, but, I had missed, a huge, announcement or something, or I missed something because we had, a completely different teacher, which I kind of saw coming. I kind of saw that coming because of the fact, we had a, different ballet teacher, and I saw it coming because of the fact that, the other teacher, kept posting stuff about, moving and stuff, so, I saw that coming. And then, and, so, I was so confused if it was, a substitute teacher or if, the new, teacher was, gonna be an actual, our permanent, teacher or what. And so, I love you, Sam. You're so cute. So, yeah, I just don't like being late, and literally we had, a mix-up because of the fact that I always, have, this one computer that, stays in this one spot. Let me adjust for dance. It stays in this one spot. And I can, I can get closer to it or I can farther back depending however but anyways, I went into, click on the link, went into email, click on the link and stuff, and I could not find the email, and so my dad came back and looked for it for, a little bit, and then it was, time that, they would be starting, and then, and, there's just, a bunch of, a lot happened, so anyways, I'm gonna kind of put the long story short, or is that we had a second option, which was that he had the email on his computer, and, he could, get it to, my computer, but I would end up being, a little bit late, 5 minutes late or something, and also, I just, was feeling out of it, not, sick or anything. I was just, I want to go watch squad videos, and I was, one of those situations where I realized, first up, it's a pop-up class, so it's not, a mandatory, class that we paid for. It's one that, we have access to, but we don't have to do it. But then, also, I was kind of, looking for any excuse to go watch squad videos. So, yeah. I chose not to dance, and that's okay. There's one day it's okay and that's like a thing. It is what it is. But make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the post notification. And I kind of don't have much planned out and stuff. I use my Petite and Pretty skincare set today. I'm making myself go an extra day, like, without it next week. Well, I'm not doing it, like, next week because I did today for, like, so not until, like, next Sunday is when I'll use it again, probably. But I love my skincare set, and the reason that I say that is because it's expensive. Like, it's really expensive, and I mean, it's pricey and expensive. So, like, but I love it so much, and my skin loves it so much. So, I literally I'm picky when I use it, and so I try to only use it, like, once a week. That way, I get, like, that one fun day to look forward to, and it's fun, and my skin loves it, and I'm hoping it will last a really long time. I'm on the plus side. The little girl that I teach dance came over today, and she, like, helped me organize my pile. And by help, I mean she did all. So, like, she came, like, over today, and she was, like, just playing in my room and stuff. And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm, like, gonna organize your room or something. And so now, like, this giant pile that I had of, like, random things and that I've been meaning to, like, organize, clean, I don't have to do anymore. It's like I barely have to do any work to it, which is like a few simplified things. I'm just putting the pillows up on, like the shelf that I have in my closet. It's like literally put the pillows up there and like pick a few things up, but for the most part it's done. And I'm like, I barely had to do work. So, like, the thing that I've been dreading and just been putting off for so long is, like, I would say it's like 3/4 of the way done. And I didn't have to do any work. So, thank you to her. Like, you made my life so much easier because I don't have to do much to it. It's like, put a few things away, but, like, organized for the most part. And stuff. But yeah, so, like, today was fun. I'm actually really happy because of the fact that we worked out, like, even better plans and for a dream tour because we have the situation of my mom, and the situation kind of is that, like, she can't stay home by herself. Like, that's not an option. And so our plan to fix that, like she can't stay home by herself. So we were gonna try to, like, get someone to come stay with her, but, like, nobody in our family's available that night. Like, we asked my sister, we asked, like, my niece, but, like, it doesn't work. Like, no one's available, like, that can come all the way here, spend the night, and watch her. And so, like, that was kind of a thing. So our backup option, which was kind of like our only option, was to get a room. To get, like, a hotel room or something. And by the way, I'm not saying any addresses or anything, but, like, to get a hotel room, like, near the venue that she can stay in. And we're at Dream Tour, but that plan, like, it didn't make sense to me at all. Like, it made no sense to me because of the fact that I'm, like, the only thing that, like, changes about it is that she would still be, like, in a hotel room, like, And Sam isn't like enough. Like I by herself. I mean like by herself or like with Sam. Like that's not like enough. So like the only difference is the location. And so that plan literally made no sense to me other than the fact that like she would be, instead of being like hours away from us, she would be like minutes or something. And so like that plan made no sense to me, so we worked out an even better one where Bella's sister is gonna stay with her like at the hotel. And we just gotta pick her up though on the way there. But that's not a problem at all. And so I'm really excited for that night. And then it works because then later on my sister's gonna like come pick Bella's sister up and like stay with her until like we're done. But like we have no clue. It's gonna be a lot of fun and that plan works out really good. Really good. Like that just works out good. So today like I generally like with dance. It was one of those things, it's a pop-up class. I wanna watch squad videos and I'm like as much as like it's one of those things that I like to look at as helping everyone else in that class. Because here's the thing, is that I have access to all the Zoom classes that they do. And some of those people pay only to do like they pay only for that one class, not to do all of it. So I'm helping them have more of Abby's attention that she would, like, they're getting the attention that she would be putting on me if I were doing the class, but they're getting it. So I'm like saying that I'm helping them out. Also, I'm a really good dancer and I pick up fast and I improve fast and things change very fast. Like I would meet like literally like, and this is something that like like with me a year, like almost a year ago, like when I first started, I barely had my tail. Like I had just gotten my tail. I was nowhere near any form of split, nowhere near a needle. Still not there, getting there, working on it. Nowhere near what is called a standing split is what they call it. Like I literally didn't have a penché, like a straddle, like a leg hold in, like I was a mess, like when it came to the flexibility. And I like did, like right when I started, I did get, like, I forget what it's called, but it's similar to a back bend, but your legs are straight on the ground. So like, let me show you. It's like that. I had just barely gotten that, and I could only do if I would flex feet, which would make my heels higher up and stuff. Now I can do that and like touch the floor, kind of. I'm still working on that. It's not the easiest thing ever for me. And like now I like have an oversplit and like I'm a really good oversplit. Like today I was oversplitting, like I was so what had happened was that I decided randomly to do a split today. You know, gotta keep that dance training sharp, gotta keep stretching sharp whether I'm in class or not. So I decided just to do like a split. And also I was like kind of showing off a little bit because Bella's sister had not seen any like dance or flexibility from me in so long now. And so long. And stuff. and she wasn't being rude, but at one point she said that I would be in a class with little kids because I have no dance training, which at the time that's true. That's one of the things that she wasn't being rude because at the time when she said it, that was 2 years ago, and I had no dance training, and I basically knew nothing, and some dancers take a really long time to learn certain things and to pick it up, and she kind of assumed that that would be my case, and so I literally did it to show off, and it was to show off a little bit and just keep that flexibility going, working on things. And she literally said, and wow, you're in a full split. And so I literally came back in my bedroom. I grabbed a dance block and my fold-up mat, and I went and did an oversplit, and it was a good oversplit. And I was really shocked that I even had that in me. Even though I done it before, it was just cool to say cause it was, we were getting pretty high up there on that oversplit, which is really good. Cause for those who don't know what an oversplit is, it's the same thing as a split, but with something raising whatever, there's actually two different versions. There's a front oversplit, which is just called an oversplit, and then there's a back oversplit. And I don't ever do back ones because I'm the type that I almost have to lunge and then slide, and back ones you can't lunge. So yeah, for those who don't know, an oversplit is when something, for an example, we're just gonna pretend I'm in a split, and my leg was doing this, something was under my heel, lifting my front leg up to make it higher. Both legs are straight. And that's something that Abby, talked to us about, was that a lot of people think that, when you do an oversplit, that, both, legs can go off the ground. She said that the back leg, the thigh, this upper part of your leg, stays on the ground. It's all about, this front leg that does the work. The back leg stays on the ground. And so, it's really cool to know that, a year ago, was nowhere near where I am now. Also, I did my rainbow out of washi tape, and it's a little bit, it looks good now. It looks somewhat decent. It's not, I think part of it is a little bit messy, and I actually did it, and turns out, the washi tape is not sticky. It's not very sticky, and that I did it, and then it started falling. So today, me and my dad, and by me and my dad, I held the tape. He put it on there. And in certain spots, we use just regular, Scotch tape that's completely clear. And he put it in certain spots just to, reinforce it so it would actually stay. And it looks really cool. Room tour coming soon with that. So, I'm really happy that's done. It looks cool. And then, because I had, a little bit of washi tape left, sealer washi tape, but it wasn't enough to do, a whole nother, strand of each. So what I did was I sealified a few things. And so, yeah, I, put, just random little strips on, the handle of, a dresser just to sealify them. And then the thing that I'm most proud of, that I did next to the rainbow, is I made a couple of loops of it over, so I have, my shelving area, which I kind of regret putting it where I did, but I also feel like it wouldn't work anywhere else. situation, the reason I kind of regret it is because I love the shelving, but the dance hammock is kind of in that area, and so if you swing like too far, like you kind of tap the shelves a little bit. And you don't like get hurt or anything, but you do slightly tap the shelf. And I didn't think about that because I just saw like an awkward corner space, and it actually isn't awkward. And you had the closet doors on it. It like was a little bit awkward because it wasn't like big enough to like do much with. So I put the shelf. Luckily, it like works. It works good. You just can't do like you can't swing too crazy, like back and forth. So like but it works and stuff. But pretty soon I am gonna do like a room tour, and I'm gonna do like a room tour, and then over time my room will like I'll add things to my room, and you'll get more like future room tour videos as my room changes. But yeah, like today ended up being like pretty fun. Like my mom did like a spa day thing. And like my mom literally did a spa day thing where like some family came over and they gave her a spa day. They like painted her nails and they did like soak her feet and stuff. Tomorrow I am gonna put the water beads back in their bucket, but actually I'm thinking at this point of just sticking the whole bucket, like just keeping them in the bucket. That would make the most sense. Sorry, like what I'm saying is that the like foot buckets I have came with water beads, so like you can do like water beads, but since I never like it makes the most sense, and right now I have them in like a bucket, so it makes the most sense just to keep them in the bucket. And that way, because they just go in the bucket a lot of the times anyways. Sorry, I'm like stretching a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited right now for like Dream Tour, and like right now it's the situation where I like to say that I'm happy where I am. And what I mean by this is like I'm happy where my mind is with losing my crush. Like it's at a good point. Like yes, I'm obviously happy where I am, like location, but like where my mindset is like it's in a great place. The other night I did kind of freak out though. Like in my head, I freaked out a little bit because it's like a normal thing for me. It's just dreaming about my crush. I mean, in actually going to sleep, falling asleep, and dreaming of my crush. It's a normal thing. And for me, and the other night I happened to have one, and I went like, it's one of the things that where sometimes I'll like, no, like, what, let me explain this. So, like, since I met my crush, this has been a thing. Where, like, almost like I can see, like, the future, or I can see what, like, let me explain. Where it makes sense. So, like, there are days when I will, like, go, like, at night, I'll, like, dream about something about him. And then, like, I'll wake up the next day feeling gross. Like, physically feeling like I just need, like, a bath or something. And then I'll, like, take a bath, get clean, and then I'll still have this gross feeling. Like, almost like I'm covered in, like sand, maybe a little bit of grass. Like, it feels like I've been, like, playing, like, I went to, like, a beach or something, or I went outside, or just went to a park, like, something like that, and got covered in, like, sand, maybe some mud, some grass. Like, physically just feeling, like, disgusting and gross, and, like, I've been outside all day, and I'm, like, sweaty, gross, and I need a bath. But, like, I'll physically look at myself, and I'm, like, perfectly fine, like, no mud, no sand, no, I'm trying to think, grass. Like, so I look fine, but then I feel gross. I'll take a bath or a shower, get clean, and like, I'll clean myself really well, and, like, use a lot of soap, and then I'll come out, and I'll still feel gross. Like, I'll still, like, feel the exact same grossness. And every time that happens, I know something not good is gonna happen with my crush. And it's really annoying. And the funny thing is that a lot of the time, this is actually true because of the fact that with music class, I would, like, have, like, the exact thing would happen. And then I'll get there, and then my dream will have come true. But it will be, like, something, like, not, like, fun and exciting. It will be like, oh, he caught a cold. Oh, he's out sick. And, oh, someone wasn't the nicest to him. Like, he's having a bad day. And I remember, I'm gonna actually tell a story for memories. This is one that, like, I'm kind of calling someone out, but it's completely fine because it's fine. Like, I have permission for this story. And I'm not really using names, so, like, it also works. I'm not even using letters of, like, what their names are. But I was born deaf. And so, like, I had an operation. I can speak. I can hear now. But I took speech therapy for a really long time. Like, a really long time. I think I was maybe 10 or 11. Like, somewhere around there. Like, no, I was about to say like 8 or 9. Maybe 9. Like, 9 makes sense. Like, somewhere around, like, 9 through 11, I was done. Like, I graduated, and I have, like, a, like, certificate thing, and that my parents had that, like, said I graduated, like, speech therapy. And and the speech therapist, she was really nice, but she was also strict. Like, she had a schedule, and she wanted to stay with the schedule, and, like, anything that she would get, like, annoyed, and, like, we weren't going on schedule or situation. And I'm gonna make a part 2 to this video problem, depending on how fast I can tell the story. But anyway, my crush would also see her. I found that out eventually. Only the one day, like, after I had graduated from, and what I mean by that is, like, we actually got, like, a paper that said I, like, graduated from, like, speech therapy. So, like, this one day, and, like, my crush had just finished with her. He was obviously having a bad day. It was very obvious. I could tell from his face, and that was making me concerned because I care about him. And, like, if he's having a bad day, that's not easy on me or him. Like, it's just not an easy situation. And so, like, he was coming into music class because he would get done with her on Wednesday, and then she would walk him into the room for music class. And so, this one day, and like he comes in and he's having a bad day. It's obvious. Yes. And so, she literally like tells our music class teacher, she's like he's having a bad day, I think, but like he needs to fix his attitude. And like in my mind, I almost screamed. I physically almost screamed out of my mouth over the fact that she said he needs to fix his attitude, over the fact that he was having a bad, when he wasn't even acting bad. He literally just seemed a little bit down and like, oh, like a bad day, not the best. Like, I was so annoyed, and I'm just like sitting there like keeping myself look like trying to act like normal, acting like I'm fine, but I'm about to scream at this teacher, and she's like, he's being really rude, and like the music class teacher said something to her like, well, what has he done? And she just like, he's not focusing, and I'm like, in my face, in my head, like I was annoyed, getting ready to scream. And he's in the background, like, throwing around a beanbag chair, like, getting his anger out. And she's like, do you want me to go, like, tell his grandparents? And our music class teacher, being the nice, amazing person that she is, was like, no, he'll get over in a minute. He just needs a minute to calm down. And so, like, if she wouldn't have said that, I would have screamed. And so, then I'm going to make a